Hi friends, welcome to this two-part yoga class to help us improve our posture even more effectively. My name is Joelle and we're going to get started nice and simple lying on our backs, so you can make your way there in your own time. And once you've arrived, point through the toes and reach the arms up overhead, resting the back of the hands to the floor, either overhead or slightly out at a diagonal, whatever is comfortable for you as you make the body as long as possible. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Very nice. Let's keep the backs of the hands to the floor as we start dragging the elbows towards the body and then re-extend. So we'll repeat this a few times. The elbows might not come very far, and that's perfectly fine. We're just starting to wake up those muscles underneath the shoulder blades, which are absolutely critical to fighting against rounded shoulders and hunched backs. And then re-straighten your arms one last time and take hold of opposite elbows with your hands. Keep your toes pointed. You could have your eyes closed here if you'd like. We'll stay for a few calm breaths. And then roll yourself over onto your stomach. Extend your right arm out straight from the shoulder and use your left fingertips to roll the entire body over onto your right side. You could even prop that left foot behind you. Really nice. Let's go to the other side. Extend your left arm, right fingertips push you over onto the left side. Maybe that right foot becomes a little kickstand behind you. Nice stretch for the front of the shoulder. And then roll your way back onto your stomach. And come to rest in Sphinx pose, up on your forearms, shoulders pinned back behind you, and the gaze is forwards. Staying in this Sphinx position, we'll take a few cat and cow. So as we inhale, we'll look up towards the sky, arching through the back. And as we exhale, press the forearms down and round through the spine. And keep going. This is not necessarily an easy movement, just make it your own. Notice the muscles working hard here to create space. One last time. And release. Beautifully done. We'll simply hold our Sphinx for a few breaths here. Think about really shining the heart forwards, making some space in that upper back. And then let's press our way up to find an all fours position with the hips above the knees, the shoulders above the wrists. Might like to shake yourself out a few times. And then step your hands forward just about a palm print, arch through the spine, and then exhale as you press your way back, keeping the spine arched. So we're essentially moving the body forwards and back, but we're keeping an arched spine the entire time. So the crown of the head and the tailbone are reaching up. Those hips are moving forwards and back. Again, this does not have to be a very big movement. Just notice how it feels for you. And release. Step your hands back underneath your shoulders, shake yourself out a little bit left and right. And then reach your right arm long alongside your ear. And place that palm back and switch sides. So one hand at a time is reaching as far forwards as you possibly can. Keep that elbow straight. And then we switch. Nothing else moves here. Again, we're working the muscles in the upper back, the trapezius. And finish it out and settle down into child's pose, sitting back in the direction of your heels. Release your forehead in the direction of your mat. Take a little breather here, it's well deserved. And let's bring ourselves back to all fours. Step your right foot forwards between your hands, coming into a strided lunge. Let's press the hands onto your front thigh or reach them overhead. Whatever's most comfortable here. If you do have your hands overhead, you can cactus them out by bending the elbows and then start twisting the upper body right and left. Keep your left glutes squeezed, that will help with balance. Keep shifting the weight of the body forwards. Just the upper body that rotates from the waistline. Return yourself to center, reach your arms up, and then exhale to bring the hands back down alongside your foot, step it back. Really well done. Allow yourself a little smile before we step that left foot forwards, finding that lunge on the second side. And again, maybe you simply rest hands on your front thigh. You could stay there, or you could reach up overhead. And if you've done so, you can then cactus those arms, bend the elbows, and we'll twist towards one side and then the other. It is very normal that balance is more challenging on one side versus another. We're all a little bit imbalanced in our bodies. So if you're noticing that about yourself right about now, just think to yourself, isn't that interesting? I've learned something about my body today. Back to center, reach those arms tall. Inhale. Exhale the hands back down. Step your foot back. And sit back towards your heels to roll the shoulders back behind you. Now start to trace a big circle in one direction with your neck. Again, you might like to close your eyes here, feeling into every little space. Moving quite slowly in these circles, no rush. As we then change directions, again slow it down. Don't allow yourself to skip or cheat any little part of the circle. And finish out your final circle. Bring the chin back down towards the chest and release. Well done. Let's now clasp hands behind your back and reach that clasped fist down towards the mat as you bring your gaze upwards. So again, we're creating kind of this opening in the upper back. We're lifting the heart, holding here as we breathe. And on your next exhale, you can start to bring the upper body forwards. The hands are still clasped behind you as you bring that fist up overhead. You could always hold the strap behind you if that's more comfortable here. And then bring your hands back down, release them, press your fingertips into the mat to sit your way up, and find a comfortable seat. So that might be cross-legged, it might be some other way. The left hand is going to hold the right knee, the right hand comes behind the head as we open that right elbow out towards the sky, so twisting towards your right. Really brace that left hand against the knee or thigh, leaning yourself back. And then the right hand is going to hold the left knee, so we're crisscrossed as we take a few more cat-cows here. Inhaling to arch, and exhaling to round. And let that go. Second side. Bring your right hand onto your left knee, bring your left hand behind your head, and twist left so that that elbow points up towards the sky. See if you can lean back a tiny bit further, straightening out through your right arm. And release the hand behind the head, place it on top of your opposite knee. A few final cat-cows here. The opposite arm is now crossed in front. Back muscles still working. And finally, sit yourself up tall, roll the shoulders back. Give yourself a little shake to see how you feel at this point in the practice. And then bring your hands to heart center. Beautifully done. Moving on towards our chest stretch now. This is where we're going to be using a strap, or you could have a scarf or a rope or band, whatever you happen to have with you. So you can set it off behind you, and I'll just turn around so you can see what we're doing. Take hold of the strap. Hands are roughly shoulder width apart. Arms are straight as we rotate the torso right and left. So again, any comfortable seat will work here. You could even be kneeling. And if you do have a little bit more space, you could release the strap, interlace your fingers, and keep those little twists from side to side going. And let's release. Shake your shoulders out. They probably felt that one. And then take hold of opposite wrists behind your back as we start to pin the elbows back behind you, and then release. So you can exhale as you bring the elbows closer together and release. Keep going a few more times with this one. Again, these are little muscles working. They're not really used to being woken up, particularly those of us who sit at desks all the time. And that's enough. Let that go. Really nice. So bring your right palm down beside you now. Place your left hand on top, and then pull that left arm open. So we're essentially moving the left arm in a bit of a diagonal. You can keep the arm straight, or you could bend at the elbow. Taking this a few times, get the upper body involved, follow the hand with your gaze. Maybe this movement becomes a little bit bigger over time. Maybe you're tracing more of a semicircle, bringing the left hand all the way down. And release. Second side, left hand is down beside you, right hand comes on top of the left, and then opens out as we trace first those smaller diagonals. Again, let your eyes follow the movement of the hand. And over time, this becomes a little bit bigger. We start to straighten out through the arm, bring it further back, maybe even briefly touch it down behind you. You can do it. All of this is really good for the health of our spine. Let's let that go. Place your left hand behind the body. So holding hands basically over by your right hip as we trace a big circle going towards the right with your neck. Right elbow is basically sticking straight out towards the side and left arm is braced behind the body. Let's try one more neck circle here. And keep your hands clasped, but just move them over towards your left hip as we start to trace circles towards the left with our neck. One final circle here. And release. Beautifully done. Release hold of your clasped hands. Give yourself a little shake and let's take hold of that strap. Now about twice as wide as the width of our shoulders. We'll bring it overhead and start pulsing it backwards. So little movements here, just a few inches forwards and back. The elbows are straight. And then widen your grip on the strap, enough so that you can bring the strap up and overhead towards the small of your back and then forwards again. So again, this looks a bit different on everyone. You might need to bring your hands further apart or closer together. And then you might find that after taking this a few times, you can in fact inch your hands closer together to continue the motion. You're not forcing anything, we're really working shoulder mobility here. Just exploring our range of motion. Strengthening and stretching all the right areas for better posture. Now just hold the strap somewhere behind you, roughly behind your head. And again, we'll swivel the upper body left and right. We'll pulse backwards a few times here. And then release the strap, bring it back in front of you. Really nicely done. Now take the strap out pretty wide here. One end in each hand, and we'll sway the whole body left and right. So rather than twisting, this time we're seesawing back and forth. One hand comes up overhead, and then the other. And if you find these movements really difficult, that is a good indication that this is a great practice to come back to help open out your upper body. And release. Nicely done. Set your strap off towards the side. Let's come to lie down on our stomachs. You can rest the forehead down on the mat. Open your arms out to the shape of a T, straight out from the shoulders. And let's rock over onto our right side. So step your left foot behind you, prop up on fingertips. The head can be lifted or you can keep that right ear on the mat. Deep breath in and out. Coming back to deep stretches like this one, which we did earlier in our practice. Just a great way to remind the body of the new range of motion we're looking to not only acquire but hold on to. And let's switch sides. So left arm extends, Maybe you step that right foot behind you. Maybe you find that this second time you discover a little bit more space in the body. What does that look like and feel like for you? Final breath in. And on your exhale, begin to roll yourself back onto your stomach. Place your palms down. And we'll weave our left arm underneath our right. So this is a very intense posture, shoelace pose. As we creep the hands away from one another, you might be able to come down all the way and rest your chin on top of your top biceps. You might stop somewhere along the way. All we care about is whether you feel a stretch in the back of your shoulders. So it does not have to look like anyone else's. You just have to feel it. And let's release. We'll take a little moment in Sphinx pose here before weaving the right arm underneath the left, coming back towards that shoelace pose. What does the range of motion look like for you on this second side? Breathe into the stretch. Final inhale. And exhale. And let's come out of it. Rolling yourself over, finding a comfortable seat, planting the feet flat in front of you, with the hands behind the body, kind of out at a bit of a diagonal here. You can shift your seat forwards closer to your feet, really pressing the hands down to help you lift the heart. Big opening through the chest. You might even come up onto fingertips. See if you can lift that heart even higher, even higher. Every inhale lifts you up even more. You can do it. And exhale to release. Really well done. Give yourself a little shake, shake out the shoulders. Notice how you feel as we bring the hands back towards the heart. Really well done. And of course, if this was a challenging practice, then I think the upper body tension series would be perfect for you. So I'll leave a link on screen, and I hope to see you there. Have a great day.